Hi there, it's Kate from Cedar and String, and one of the things I get asked about a lot with Zazzle is about our different card types, specifically differences between the finishes and the size between budget and regular card sizes. And Zazzle isn't like Etsy, where on Etsy the sellers will make the cards themselves and print them and cut them. On Zazzle, we're independent designers who design the artwork that you see, and then Zazzle is responsible for printing and manufacturing and shipping all of the supplies. So a lot of times when I get asked that question, it's a little hard for me to explain because I don't make the actual paper. I just make the design that you see on the front. So what I did was I ordered several of the different types of cards so that I could show you the differences. And I'm going to start with the most common and then work to the more rare paper types, the more premium paper types, but I'll start with the standard and the budget first since I get asked about those the most. So the standard card size and paper type with Zazzle is our standard matte. It's your basic card style. You can kind of hear what it sounds like. It's about, if you look at the description on Zazzle, it says it's 17.5 points thick, it's 120-pound paper. It's pretty much what you would get anywhere that you ordered something. And it's matte, it's really classic, it's got like a natural feel to it, it's very uncoated. The colors print a little bit more subtle and a little more soft because it has this sort of soft coat feeling on it. It doesn't have any texture to it. It's thick, but it's not like cardboard. There's still a little bit of a, let me see this, a little bit of a give to it there on the back. All right, and this is just the standard card sizes. There's 8 different sizes and shapes. They're small. They go all the way down to like 3.5 by 5, all the way up to really long, like 4 by 9. They have corner shapes and all kinds of stuff. So it's pretty classic style. And this is the matte. And then in that same size, we also have the standard semi-gloss. So semi-gloss is a little bit thinner. So if I put these together, this one on my left hand here is the matte, and this is the semi-gloss. You can see that the semi-gloss is a little bit floppier. It's not really floppy, but by comparison, so it's a little bit lighter. It's only 110-pound weight, and then you can see that the print is a little bit brighter. So on the semi-gloss, which is the one in the front here, the print is really vivid and crisp, where on the matte, it's more soft. So for photos and things like that, I always recommend that you get the semi-gloss. For invitations, those kinds of things, the matte is really nice unless you have very vivid colors that you want to come through. The other difference is that people think the semi-gloss is kind of shiny, but it isn't really shiny. It definitely has more of a coating. The matte feels very smooth, and then the semi-gloss has a little bit of roughness to it, a coating, almost like a photo coating, but not quite so sticky. And then the back, this is our marble, it's very popular, but the semi-gloss over here on this side now, this is the semi-gloss. You can see it's a little bit brighter. So again, if you're printing something that you want to see more of the sparkle and shine come through, you want to do the semi-gloss. But if you're getting something that again is more flat or matte, then you want more of a matte look on your cards as well. So the semi-gloss cost about 5 cents more per card than the matte. And it's got the same all the different sizes and shapes and all that fun stuff. All right, so primarily we have the difference, we want to look at the difference between the matte and the budget, because that's usually what people ask me about. So again, this is the matte. And now let's talk about our budget paper. Now our budget paper semi-gloss, so this is semi-gloss, it's upside down there, is obviously, as you can see, the first thing, I'm gonna grab the semi-gloss one so I can show you. First thing that you can see is that it is a lot smaller. So you can see the size difference there. All right, this budget paper is smaller, a little bit more delicate. Now this is semi-gloss, so it's still actually the same weight and thickness as our standard semi-gloss, but because it's smaller, it has a more of a delicate feel to it. Same thickness, everything else. It's about 60 to 65% lower price because you're getting a much, much smaller card. And it only comes in 2 sizes. It comes in this size, which is, I believe, 4.5 by, or 4.25 by 6. And then it comes in this long size that is 5 by, I think, 7.75. So you can see that's quite a big size if I compare this long one to the standard mat. See, so it's much bigger. So you either get much smaller or you get much bigger with the budget, but there's no corner option sizes. You just get straight corners, and you get 2 sizes to choose from, as opposed to the regular ones where you have 5 corner shapes and 8 different sizes. And so it's a lot cheaper. So 60 to 65% less, only 2 sizes, roughly the same. This is our primary budget card. This particular size, this small one, primary budget. It's really good if you are going to stick it in a small envelope. If you just want, it's like a save the date, it's really good for a budget wedding because, again, the price is much less. It does come in the longer size, a taller size if you want for invitations or things like that. Now, our budget paper also comes in a satin. Now, this one, can you hear that? That's paper. This is 12.5 thick. This is 5.2. So this is very thick. This feels to me like very papery, like a heavy computer paper or even like a cardstock. It has that feel. If you get this size, it's really going to feel papery. It's very good if you're going to skip the envelopes and just stick this card into a bigger card or something like that. It's excellent for personal stationery. It's wonderful for that. But by comparison, as you can see, super floppy, super papery. So when they say satin, they just mean that it's got a really smooth feel to it, but it's not thick at all. So if you're going to go the budget route, I highly recommend you stick with the standard semi-gloss. Now the satin is a lot cheaper. It's like 75% less than just our regular cards, but that's because you're getting 75% less paper. I recommend that you stick with the standard semi-gloss budget paper. All right, so that's the difference between our main papers, our standard paper, our matte paper, semi-gloss, and then our different budget sizes. And I will link all these products that you saw. These are some of our most popular products. I will link these all in the description box below. And I will put up a second video showing you some of our more premium papers that I get asked about, but these are the ones that I most get asked about, the difference between standard and budget paper. So if you have any questions, you can ask them below, or you can reach out to us through Zazzle and we will be happy to help you.